The morning rush hour packed the city bus as Alexandra Hart stood near the fare box, frantically searching through her leather bag. At 34, she was CEO of Hart Technologies, a software company worth hundreds of millions. But this morning, she had left her penthouse in such a hurry after an emergency call from her head of operations that she had grabbed the wrong bag, the one without her wallet, phone, or transit card. "Ma'am, you need to pay or exit the bus," the driver said, not unkindly but firmly. The line of impatient commuters behind her was growing. "I am so sorry," Alex said, her face flushing with embarrassment. "I grabbed the wrong bag this morning. I do not have my wallet," or "then you need to get off. I have a schedule to keep." Alex felt the stares of everyone on the crowded bus. She was dressed in an expensive leather jacket and designer jeans, clearly not someone who looked like she could not afford bus fare. The irony would have been funny if it were not so humiliating. "Here," a voice came from behind her, and a hand extended past her shoulder, holding a $5 bill. "This should cover her fare and mine." Alex turned to see a young man in his late 20s, wearing a hoodie and jeans, a backpack slung over his shoulder. He had kind eyes and an easy smile that suggested he helped strangers regularly. "You do not have to do that," Alex protested. "Too late. Already doing it." He handed the money to the driver, who accepted it and waved them both toward the back of the bus. Alex followed her benefactor down the aisle, feeling obligated to at least thank him properly. They ended up standing near each other, holding the overhead straps as the bus lurched into traffic. "Thank you," Alex said sincerely. "That was really kind. If you give me your contact information, I can pay you back." "It is $5, the man said with a shrug. "Consider it a random act of kindness. We have all forgotten our wallets at some point. Still, I appreciate it. I am Alex. Daniel. Nice to meet you." He shifted his backpack. "Rough morning?" "You have no idea. I got an emergency call at a.m., rushed out of my apartment, and grabbed the bag I had been packing for the gym instead of my work bag. Now, I have no phone, no wallet, and I am supposed to be leading a board meeting in 45 minutes. That is rough," Daniel agreed. "What do you do?" Alex hesitated. She had learned over the years that revealing she was a CEO changed how people interacted with her. For once, she wanted to just be a person who forgot her wallet, talking to a kind stranger. "I work in tech," she said vaguely. "Software development." "You?" "I am a teacher, high school math. Also running late because my alarm did not go off." Daniel smiled. "Although my consequences for being late are probably less severe than yours." The kids might celebrate. They talked for the next 15 minutes. Easy conversation about the city, the challenges of morning routines, favorite coffee shops. Daniel was funny and unpretentious, treating Alex like a regular person rather than someone to impress or use for connections. When Alex's stop approached, she felt genuinely disappointed. "This is me. Thank you again for the bus fare. You saved me from a very embarrassing situation. Happy to help. Good luck with your board meeting." Alex exited the bus and hurried to her office building, borrowed a phone from her assistant, and somehow made it through the meeting despite being flustered and phoneless. But throughout the day, she kept thinking about Daniel's easy kindness, his genuine smile, the fact that he had helped without expecting anything in return. That evening, Alex returned to her normal routine, wallet and phone safely in her possession. But the next morning, she made an unusual decision. Instead of having her driver take her to work, she took the same bus, at the same time, hoping to see Daniel again. He was there, standing near the back, reading a book. When Alex boarded, their eyes met and Daniel's face lit up with surprised recognition. "Hey, wallet crisis resolved?" he asked as she made her way to him. "Fully resolved. I have my wallet, phone, and dignity restored." Alex pulled out a $5 bill. "I wanted to return this." Daniel waved it away. "I told you it was a gift. Random kindness, remember? Then let me buy you coffee as a thank you. There is a cafe near my office. Do you have time before work?" Daniel checked his watch. 20 minutes before I need to be at school. I can do a quick coffee." Over coffee that turned into a hurried but delightful conversation, Alex learned more about Daniel. He taught at an underfunded public school, spent his own money on supplies for students who could not afford them, and ran a weekend tutoring program for kids struggling with math. He was passionate, dedicated, and completely unaware of how impressive his quiet generosity was. "What about you?" Daniel asked. "You said you work in tech. What exactly do you do?" Alex took a breath. "I run a software company. We develop enterprise solutions for businesses." "That is cool." "Startup?" "Not exactly. We have been around for about 8 years." They kept meeting for coffee. Alex continued taking the bus instead of her private car, treasuring the 30 minutes of normalcy where she was just Alex, not Alexandra Hart, CEO. Daniel remained completely unaware of her actual position or wealth, knowing only that she worked in tech and apparently took public transportation. Their coffee meetings became lunch meetings, then dinner. Alex found herself falling for Daniel's authenticity, his dedication to his students, his complete lack of pretension. He treated her like an equal, never trying to impress her with money or connections he did not have. "I need to tell you something," Alex said one evening over dinner, 3 months after their first meeting. "I have not been completely honest with you about my job." Daniel's expression grew concerned. "Are you a spy? Please tell me you are a spy. That would be so cool." Alex laughed despite her nervousness. "Not a spy, but I do not just work in tech. I own the company, Heart Technologies. I am the CEO." Daniel stared at her. "Heart Technologies? The company that just got featured in Forbes for their AI innovations? That Heart Technologies?" "Yes. So when you said you work in software development, you meant you run a multi-million-dollar company? Technically hundreds of millions. But yes." Daniel sat back, processing. "Why did you not tell me?" "Because when you gave me bus fare, you did not know I was wealthy. You helped because I needed help, not because you thought you could get something from me. That was so refreshing that I did not want it to change." Alex looked at him earnestly. "I kept taking the bus because I wanted to keep being the person you met that morning, just Alex who forgot her wallet, not CEO Alexandra Hart, who people treat differently." "I do not care that you are a CEO," Daniel said slowly. "I care that you have been taking the bus for 3 months when you probably have a driver and a town car." "That is kind of ridiculous, is it?" Alex challenged. "The bus is how I met you. Why would I change that?" Daniel smiled. "Fair point. But I have questions. Do you really not have a phone charger at your office? Because I have been lending you mine twice a week. I have 17 phone chargers at my office. I just liked having an excuse to talk to you." "That is both sweet and slightly manipulative, I know. I am sorry. I should have been honest sooner." Daniel reached across the table and took her hand. "Alex or Alexandra, or CEO Hart, or whatever you want me to call you, do not care about your money. I gave you $5 because you look stressed, and I wanted to help. I kept having coffee with you because you are funny and smart, and you actually listen when I talk about my students. Your bank account does not change any of that." "Really?" Alex felt relief wash over her. "Really. Although I do have one request." "Anything." "Stop taking the bus just to see me. It is very romantic, but also wildly inefficient. I will come to your office, or you can send your driver to pick me up, or we can meet halfway. But please stop spending 90 minutes a day on public transportation when you have better options." Alex laughed. "Deal. But I am keeping the bus story. It is how we met." "Agreed. Although from now on, I am telling people I gave a millionaire bus fare." "That is a great story." 1 year after Daniel had given Alex $5 for bus fare, he proposed appropriately, on a city bus that Alex had rented for the occasion, decorated with photos from their relationship, and filled with their friends, family, and several of Daniel's students. "You gave me $5 when I needed it," Alex said through happy tears. "You helped a stranger without knowing who it was or what I could offer you. That simple act of kindness showed me who you are, someone who sees people who need help and steps up. I fell in love with that person, not despite your lack of wealth, but because of your abundance of compassion. I gave you $5 and got the love of my life in return," Daniel said. "Best investment I ever made." At their wedding, Daniel's toast made everyone laugh and cry. My wife is a CEO who runs a company worth hundreds of millions. I am a public school teacher who makes $45,000 a year. People think that is an unequal match. They are wrong. She has money. I have her. I'm clearly the one who came out ahead in this deal. If this story reminded you that true value is measured in character, not currency, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment about when a small act of kindness led to something beautiful.